Jesus continues to teach, and there's a great crowd of people who are gathering. And as they come, they are hungry. The disciples are like, Jesus, we need to send them away. And he says, no, you feed them. What are you talking about, Jesus? How can we do this? What do you have? Well, they found, the bread and the fish. Jesus multiplies it. You know the story. Feeds the 5,000, makes it happen that day. And they're in astonishment that Jesus was able to pull this great miracle off. And the story that I want to pick up is Mark chapter 6, verse 47. When evening came, the boat that they were in was in the middle of the lake, and he was alone on land. He saw the disciples straining at the oars because the wind was against them. Shortly before dawn, he went out to them walking on the lake. He was about to pass by them, but when they saw him walking on the lake, they thought he was a ghost. He cried out because they all saw him and were terrified. Immediately he spoke to them and said, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." Then he climbed into the boat with them, and the wind died down. They were completely amazed, for they had not understood about the loaves. Their hearts were hardened. We have Jesus over here on this side, and he's fed 5,000 people. Just the miraculous nature of that. Jesus seems to be in an abundance kind of a guy. The stories have been told when he's at that first wedding in Cana, he turns water into wine in great abundance. When he's with his disciples at the end of the storyline, even at the end of the book of Mark and in the book of John, where he's feeding them fish on the Sea of Galilee, and he says to them, "Have you caught anything?" They say, "No." And he says, "Hey, put the net out to the other side and you'll catch," and a great multitude comes in. So Jesus is in the business of kind of showing up and showing off for people all the time in a great multitude of fashion. So he's fed 5,000 people over here, and if you take it all the way to the other angle over on this side, he has just walked on water. These are two famous stories we always talk about, right? We talk about these because these are banner moments in Jesus' life where he has fed the 5,000 and walked on water. Any of us are like, I wish I could do that. That would be so amazing. That would really increase our ministry, whatever opportunities we have. If I could do any of those two things, people would be coming out of the woodworks. But Jesus has fed the 5,000 and he has walked on water. But the part I want to talk about is really the in-between part, the in-between the two miracles. So go back to verse 45. Immediately Jesus made his disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to Bethsaida while he dismissed the crowd. After leaving them, he went up on a mountainside to pray. In between the miracles, what is Jesus doing? I feel amazed when in the context of the ministry that I get to lead, if we pull off a big event or a big Sunday or something, I feel like our juices are flowing. Our team has done such a great job. We're high-fiving each other. And you think Jesus would do that. He just fed 5,000. He's in a bit of like, watch me, what I can do when I show up. But instead of doing the high-five thing, the chest butt thing, whatever he's doing with his friends, he goes off and prays. And he communes with the one who gives him his identity, who tells him who he is, and reminds Jesus' place that I have sent you not just to go and show off to people, but I have sent you for a purpose, to do the miracles, but to ultimately proclaim my kingdom, to bring good news, to invite people into this. The kind of twist I want to take, if you'll let me today, is with you. Because I know you are often in between two miracles, and I'm going to stretch the analogy if you'll let me. But no doubt there's a miracle that you get to run this network office and make things happen throughout the given year. But you're also in this calm right now, and may not be too calm, and a calm right before network conference happens, right? And it's your big event. It's your feeding the 5,000 moment, right? But I want to encourage you, in the place that you are at, that you are prepping for an event. And no doubt there are many things to be done, still to be done, things that haven't been done yet that you haven't even thought of that need to be done. May you find in the next few days the chance to be calm before the Lord, so that he's able to speak into your soul and to remind you of your calling. You have the ability to create a space for ministers to come who are probably a bit burnt out, tired, and will see things from different kinds of angles. But you get to show up and remind them that our focus is Jesus. No matter what happens, the focal point is Jesus. In our story between the feeding and the walking on water, and you may think if you get network conference done, you will have done a variation of those two things. But where is it that you draw your center? When is the last time that you have communed with the Father? When is the last time you have heard his voice? When is the last time you're reminded of who you are? You are doing a wonderful job here at the network office making things happen for churches and pastors like me. I want to say thank you. Thank you for the hours that you'll put in. Hours may even go beyond your contract over the next couple of weeks. But what happens in our conference is you get to proclaim and show off a God who is in the business of reminding people that they are called into ministry, that there is still people who yet to have heard good news, that the kingdom is still on advance and good things are happening. May you find moments in the next couple of weeks to be silent, to be still, and to be amazed at how God shows up.